You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menouno and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Bar Rescue After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Bar Rescue After Show.
Get in trouble, bring home to me.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Bar Rescue AFTERBUZZ TV recap. It's Season 4, Episode 5, Drunks and Dirty Dolls.
Very appropriate name.
Very.
And of course, we have a full panel here today. I am Phil Svitek, joined alongside Keven Undergaro.
Keven Undergaro, 2 years bartending experience.
Dorinda Barker.
Old hag at it.
17 years bartending experience.
Yes, 17
so
years.
I don't think you would have been able to run with the drunks and the dirty dolls.
No, they probably would have at least put me under the table with drinking because I hardly ever drank behind the
No,
bar.
I see it on your face because remember I was doing it.
Exactly.
We were going back and forth between the Soho bartender and.
These are things what people should see when they watch the show together, which doesn't happen all that often. So when it does happen, it's hysterical. And you were like, drunk, sober,
Yeah.
sober,
Drunk, yeah. Drinks, no drinks. Yeah, you could tell the bartender from Soho who I have never seen there, but I'm gonna look for. You know, Jennifer Garner with her little dimples.
Oh yeah,
I
liked her.
Yeah, she was great, but I was just noticing the difference between somebody who, again, probably doesn't drink a lot versus the other, the dirty dolls who drank a lot. So I see it on your face. You haven't drank a lot. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to roll with them. And then, of course, McKenzie, 2 months waitressing experience?
3.
3 months waitressing experience. So this is our Crackerjack staff that we're bringing to the AFTERBUZZ TV Bar Rescue
That's
after show.
right.
Anyway, I love the episode.
It was I liked they were characters and we haven't seen characters in a while actually. Like there's so much to talk about, but go ahead.
Okay, so it's I was gonna say, it's still not pirates. I mean, it's fine.
Wait,
By the way,
are we really 2 minutes in? Because
Last week, we didn't mention pirates once.
Well,
did we not?
I think we might.
No. Wait a second. Really?
No, we never did.
I think I gave a One-Eyed Pete shout out instead of the buzz you later.
At the very end.
So that was
Okay,
that
so
was
there is a
the
little
last
stuff.
we've gone. But by the way, I don't do this stuff on purpose. But when you say characters, don't even go there until you get me to the pirates or the cockroach guy. So I
Still
don't.
haven't seen these episodes
Okay.
yet.
It was funny. A lot of people were tweeting at me because the pirates was repeated.
No.
And they're like, it's the first time I've seen it. This is amazing.
It is the most, I want to say, I'm up there on top 10 best moments in TV history. And I'm going to go down and say it for facts.
It's funny because certain things go viral and catch these waves, and no one can explain why they do or they don't in a lot of cases. With Kitchen Nightmares, I don't know, there was a crazy couple. It was a younger woman with an older guy. She was completely psychotic, and he just was 100% behind her. And everyone talked about it, and it went viral. And it's I think he actually walked out. They were so crazy that Chef Ramsay walked out on them. But I feel as good as that was, it's still nothing compared to the pirate episode. So I don't know. I hope it catches one of those waves because it should go beyond. I mean, we're the number one show on Spike, so it's like whatever. Bar Rescue doesn't need to be any bigger, but I still say in terms of, I'm thinking the situation, putting his head into a wall. I'm thinking of all the great moments in reality TV. The Bar Rescue Pirates episode. Come on. Right?
It's still one of the best things I've ever seen. And once again, today, if you could watch it together. There's something that gets said later in the episode.
I know. I know exactly what you're gonna say.
And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, do you want to be a pirate? A pirate.
Right. Oh no, we can say it. Say it. It was great because he said, "Do you want to be This guy was a motorcycle rider
yeah,
enthusiast.
race car, or yeah. But he did racing. He did, the racing, and he goes, "Do you want to do this? Do you want to run your bar, or do you? What did he say?"
It was something to that effect.
Yeah.
Do you want to be a bar owner, or do you want to be?
Or do you want to be this guy who just sits around and does nothing, basically?
Yeah, and he's like, "No, I want." He answered the right way.
Right? Not like, "No, I want to be a pirate."
Yeah, I want to be a pirate. And how the hell do they stay in business over there? I don't even know. Because last we checked, yeah.
Well, I want to let you know when I go home for Christmas, I'm going to Baltimore for a day because I have a friend of mine.
Please.
I am so
We're gonna
finding
need photos
myself
and
that place
iPhone video.
iPhone, yeah.
and we need to talk to One-Eyed Pete.
for sure.
I want to fly him out for either our Christmas party, AFTERBUZZ Christmas party, or for Maria's birthday in June.
All right.
Just as a special guest. Because, Phil, really, who's better than One-Eyed? Imagine if One-Eyed Pete could work here, how great.
One-Eyed Pete would be good.
He would be amazing. And we'd let him be a pirate here.
Yeah, he could be a pirate. Well, there's a pirate bar here. There's pirates here in LA. I have met them.
Here it would make
No.
sense.
We have Val Damberchet. We know a friend who's a pirate.
Yeah, a pirate asked me out about 6 months ago. My
Yeah.
friend's like, he's a pirate. I was like, what?
No, it's a total subculture. But again, it's not going to work 7 days a week. It's if you unless you got a low rent place that was going to be like a social club.
Yes.
And people paid dues and it was that kind of thing, but it's not going to work 7 nights a week.
Well, speaking of themes and not working, I mean, just racing in Vegas. Right, we've seen a motorcycle bar in past
That's
episodes,
what
and it's worked.
But in Vegas,
This
on a race car bar.
I
or...
cringe at any bar in Vegas, to be honest, because it's so hard. I just think of, oh my God, how effing hard is it to have a bar in Vegas?
Especially when you're competing with everything
That's
on the
what I'm
strip,
saying.
like
It's
the
like-
Cosmopolitan, like all those different bars.
Right.
Or
There's
not even
thousands.
bars. Like,
It's not even hundreds. There's thousands of bars. And how they can all survive is beyond me, because you see hundreds of bars in other places, or even tens of bars in other places, and they can't survive.
well, a big point that they always try and make when they do Vegas episodes is they say for the people that live there, they don't want to be on the strip. They're sick of it, so they go to like the outskirts, which are these different bars that we've been seeing. So
Cater to them, but there's still so many of them when you think about it. So it's hard. I think you just have your work. John's really got his work cut out for him. Don't laugh. I just lowered my chair. So iTunes people, that's why they're laughing. YouTube
All
viewers,
right.
you'll
Let's
see
get
me.
so in terms of the recon, it's called the Alibi. Again, the theme is race cars, but with obviously everybody needs an alibi, which doesn't make sense at all. Because here's the I have Kevin and I used to go to a bar called Alibi in Boston, and the theme was beautiful. They it used to be an old jailhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So it still had the cells and things like that, and you used to see again, it just matched the theme. Whereas this, what did Nick call it? It looked like a dare dog, right?
I love Nick.
The signage was very kid-like. It didn't match.
the arrow was pointing to one of the columns on the whole place, and it was a mess.
It looked like something like your grandma would put together in its own little way, but not with any flair. It was just bad.
I've seen bars like that, though. I mean, it didn't look as deplorable as some of the other bars we've seen on the show. It just looked like one of those. I see a lot of them in LA, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Just those box sign. The classic light box.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't bring this up sooner, but I have to tell you guys, I was in Florida a while ago, and I was with my friend's grandpa, and he brought us to one of his bars that he, just in the middle of the day, he was like, oh, I want you to meet my friend. So we go to the bar.
Oh, my God.
And we come in and whatever, and so there's, underwear and bras and panties and everything hanging nailed onto the whole walls, onto the ceiling, onto the...
Wall of
everything.
accomplishments?
I don't know, but that's what it was decorated with. It was so hilarious. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. So maybe Bar Rescue should go there.
Thank you, McKenzie. Okay. Here's what bothered me from the beginning was how many times I've seen the girl bartenders who, from the riffraff that come in, they're 10s. You know, they're the most gorgeous. Those 3 for the riffraff that come in, they're Victoria's Secret models, and so they're used to getting so much attention. Yeah. So in come 2 young, pretty girls, and of course they don't bother with them at all. And again, like Dorinda, what I love about you is I know you probably waited on everybody no matter what, right?
No matter what.
No matter what. I see that in so many bars. And as a guy, it goes the other way. You see that male bartender who's flirting with all the girls, and then you're just sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah, well, predominantly, and we might get some mail on this, but it's true from being behind the bar so long, is if I see a guy come in and I see a woman come in, I'm going to go up to the guy first.
We give bigger tips?
Yes, and women don't.
They
At
don't.
the end of the day, ladies, and this is a little
true.
thing you need to learn, tip your bartender. She'll be happy to take care of you because, A, you're a woman. She'd rather talk to you also and maybe see, work something out. But if you're not going to tip and you're not going to treat her right, she's always going to go to the guy because the guy will always tip better.
Yep.
You go where the money is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's always true.
Well, the first thing that I do is when I deal with those guys or when I'm talking to girls, I'm like, okay, because I'll just buy you.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. Just just tip them really well. And then, I don't go out enough. So when I do, I want to have fun and I want to, get the attention I deserve. But anyway, that frustrated me seeing that because I'm like, how many times have I seen
that was a little
this?
long, though. It was 9 minutes before anyone went up to those
No, that's what I mean.
girls.
It was a disgrace.
No,
It
that's
made
that's a
me
little ridiculous.
ill.
That's
Oh,
ridiculous.
And I've seen it, but I've seen it so much. You know, and again, they're drinking, and so part of that, part of people who drink a lot, and that disease is narcissism. So it's just was perfect. So in their brains, they're 10s, they're drinking, no one else is existing, and 2 young, pretty girls come in, and nothing. And so I was like, that was really aggravating for me to see.
No,
only because I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, but it upset me. I mean, you should never wait, even if I'm going to go to the guy first because of the reason we just talked about. I'm going to serve him and then get right to her.
I know.
It's
no,
never going
you
to
have
be.
to tell me.
Yeah,
I know you're
but
a great bartender.
that's where the problem lies, and I've seen it too when I've gone out because I've walked into a bar. They don't know me. They don't know that I tip mad. I tip like a man because I've been in the business so long.
Right.
But I've seen a lot of female bartenders just not come over to me, which is fine. But to wait almost 10 minutes, I have gotten angry. And you guys have known me long enough to know I don't really get that angry.
Right.
But that's the one thing I will get angry at.
I don't blame
like,
you. Well, because
flip out.
especially you're in the business, so you know what it's like, and the fact that you're there, it's probably the one time you think, like, really, can't I just get a drink?
I just want to, yeah.
That's like, I was in the carny business for years, and so now when I go to carnivals or any special events, we used to do a lot of the big rock concerts, Lollapalooza. I'm like, oh, it's so nice to be on the other side of it.
Yes.
Right? So it's probably nice when you go into a bar and you're on the other side.
Oh, I love it. And of course, the first thing I do is make friends with the bartenders because that's what you should always do is make friends with the bartenders because they're the best people to talk to because they're the most laid back. And if you're laid back with them, they're much cooler with you. But I feel like home when I'm at a bar. I know it sounds weird to say, but it's because I've been in one for so long and I grew up in one. That's where I feel the safest and at home. And now it makes me feel like I'm a drunk. But
No, but by the way, I don't feel that way because I'm not in them. But every time I watch the show, I wanted to be home, and I want to be in there. And again, this bar tonight when he was done with them, I'm like, oh, that place looks awesome,
amazing.
I don't know. I get sucked in. I
can't do bars anymore because I just start dissecting everything.
I'm like,
now because of the show.
Oh,
yeah, because I'm like, all right.
Because I'm like,
I'll tell
you, because of the show, Maria. It's funny because Maria's doing a book on diet and fitness, and she was saying in the book, by watching Bar Rescue, it's been a great way to dissuade her from eating heavy out because she sees what these kitchens look like, and she's like, oh my God, that's out there. That's gross. I can't.
Yeah, I'm particular.
What about the ice thing? That was just.
Oh, that was.
crazy.
I wanted to swim in that.
Oh, wait a second. Before we even get to the ice thing, why don't we talk about the mystery meat?
20-minute mystery meat?
20-minute mystery meat. And then the guy gets it, and you can just see when he takes his first bite of the disgust that was going on. There
You
was
know,
nothing
Okay, here's
pleasurable going on in that mouth.
and to that point, I mean, I liked
And
how
they were-
John you got 2 girls, 2 guys, and whereas you would think guys would be more laid back about this, I mean, for the most part, as long as
Yeah.
it's edible, I feel like most guys would eat
Well,
it.
most guys,
to-
yeah,
for
that's
him to
true.
not eat
That
it-
is true.
It's true. See.
I
That
didn't
is
even think
very
of that,
true.
yeah.
Once again,
So yeah,
Very
that's
true.
a major point that he didn't want to eat it.
that is true. And then, ugh.
Oh, going to the ice.
I can't believe they never cleaned out their ice
didn't
box.
burn the
Like,
ice.
How
That
do
was
you
They
so
not?
never.
nasty.
Just put more ice
How
on
do you
top.
not
Right, just
do
put
that?
more ice on top of it, Mackenzie. Who cares?
Oh, it's so gross.
I could point out lots of stuff that doesn't always get done. Then it's like, okay, well,
I
we'll do it.
just, when they said we never burned the ice, I didn't even have to see what was in there. I already knew what was going on.
We knew. John knew
What
too.
kind of marriage was happening?
Oh.
Ugh.
Here's what I like about it though, because whenever you do a bar rescue, I feel like anytime you could show physicality of how the bar is failing, it's a nice way to open up people to change. Because if you gotta talk numbers and things like that, it's not as to them it's not as
Yeah.
concrete. Whereas they're shoveling the sludge and they're almost vomiting, then they get it.
Well, yeah, that, and then what was going on in the kitchen. Oh, I go, Phil, rewind that. You need to see it because you had looked away or did something, and he just we cleaned that 4.5 months ago. You cleaned that 4.5 months ago?
No, the guy. To be fair, the guy said we cleaned it a month and a half ago.
And
Oh,
he
well,
said,
my-
but then he said, no, you didn't. That is not a month and a half. That's way too much buildup or whatever he said.
But it shouldn't even be a month and a half. It should be like every few days
Yeah,
on the
a
top of
week
something
maybe.
like maybe. And I mean, a week is like pushing it, and a month.
Because he said it's a fire hazard too, right?
Oh yeah,
All that.
because that's all grease, and God forbid if something happens, poof.
Well, our 5-star chef didn't realize.
Well, the blow up dog. You put.
Oh, the blow up.
You can, she'll put it out.
What did she do? She rode that thing piggyback.
Yeah.
She-
Surprise.
Oh wow.
Every bar needs a gimmick.
Everybody needs a gimmick. That
Oh
would
my
not be
goodness.
one of the gimmicks I would
Recommend?
No, that and the vibrator comment.
Oh yeah, that was really
Yeah.
embarrassing that,
That
he had to be
was-
called out. Like, I mean, he should have, but that's just so embarrassing. I felt like so awkward
Ugh.
watching it.
I love how John just snapped and he that's it. I can't take it anymore. He got out of the
Even
car.
watching, he got out. That's what I was
He
gonna
was
say.
violent.
We haven't seen him do that in a
No,
long
yeah,
time.
he couldn't stand it anymore.
He's like, that's it. I'm going in. I can't take
Yeah, he
it.
can't take it
We're
anymore.
like, good, get in there.
I don't know. I guess I've just dealt with too many of those. I can't go the dirty dolls. I've dealt with too many of them,
No, I mean,
work wise, and I don't know. Just at that point in the show, they're just despicable. I don't know. I just see them. I get sick. It's just and I could tell the manager and the owner they just ran over them.
Oh yeah.
I do have to compliment Artie for most people would be like, oh well, she in terms of the one who was really drunk and was told that she couldn't even work tonight because of how drunk she was. So I mean, at least in that sense, it's a small victory that I have to compliment.
Well, I was proud of him for saying that, but you could tell like the relationship that they all had with each other was very like familiar.
Yeah, definitely.
It was very family oriented, so they would say whatever they wanted to each
Exactly,
other.
because she was like, "Are you seriously gonna say that? Like, pretty much, really on national TV, you're gonna say that right now?"
Yeah.
And like, if you can even say that, that's so disrespectful.
Because that's your boss.
So
Yeah.
disrespectful.
At the end of the day, that's your boss. And you can't do that. There's always has to be those boundaries, no matter if you worked for your boss for 16 years or for 6 months.
Right.
There has to be that boundary there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me, I always look at it half retardedly in the sense that it doesn't. But forget about your boss. You shouldn't be drunk at your job for your boss or anybody else.
No, I mean, maybe
For
a
you.
Christmas party here or there,
Right. Exactly.
But once again, at a Christmas party, there's always that one that everybody talks about.
Mhm.
Right. We had one last year on our Christmas party. Remember?
We had several.
Yeah.
But,
You never want to be that one.
I can't wait for this year's Christmas. Anyway, we're going off subject. Anyway.
Stress test.
Oy vey.
Jerry was great in the stress test.
Jerry, the chef, he was
Five-star,
amazing.
5-star chef.
No, but
Why do you do this to me?
I'm giving it my best, sir.
no, despite what I loved about him is that he had a passion to change.
Yeah, no, I did.
Unlike any other
he-
person we've ever
Yeah,
seen.
he was great. He was.
Well, that's where One IP we made the One IP because he's the first guy since One IP who really wanted, no matter where he was at that moment, to where he became.
Right.
He was so angry. I haven't seen anyone that angry at their performance in a long time.
Yeah.
And I respected that.
I did too. No, he was great, and I have to say for the amazing screw crew that it was.
Yes.
I don't have any villains in this because they all slowly but surely won me over. And Jerry, I thought he was great. Yeah, he was awesome. He could come work at AfterBuzz too. I liked him.
Yeah, because he'd do his best.
He would try.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. I mean, that moment to me is the epitome of what I want in a person. He was just he didn't know how to take out. He knew he was failing, and he was so upset. And he wasn't upset at anybody else. He didn't blame anything.
No.
He's like, I do, sir. Come on, and
He's like, it
let's do
pisses
it.
me off so bad you can't even believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't walk out.
Nope.
Like the lady in Rhode Island, I think, or it was Rhode Island,
Or
right?
what's his
We've
name?
had a
that
lot
ran
of
in
Yeah,
the
well,
house?
it has some. Oh yeah, ugh, the dirty feet people, and then those people
Sprinted.
walked out. Yeah. This guy stayed, even though he said, "I messed up, I did this," and he stayed. And I gotta give props where props are due,
Absolutely.
because we've all been there at some point in our lives, whether it's when we were 21 or whether we were, whatever age we are now, and we've all been there and done it and stayed. And didn't you feel better about staying than you did about just walking out and leaving? I learned more.
I wish we could have John. Like, I want to hear what John's little inside scoop on the whole thing was. It was so nice to have that last week.
Oh, it
Well,
wasn't.
Dorinda has a beef with bartending because you're not a fan of the jiggers in this particular bar.
Oh, in this particular bar. Okay. The reason I did not like that second chocolatey drink, and I can't remember the name.
Oh,
of it.
dessert.
The dessert.
Dessert
I
in a
did.
cup?
I
I
had
thought it was a
problem.
little bit too intricate.
Yeah, especially for a bar like that. That is not the type of bar that.
Well, he was changing the bar though.
Yeah, he was changing the bar, but even though the interior really didn't call for a drink like that, this is just my opinion. Even though it did look delicious, but that type of bar and those bartenders are not jigger bartenders.
So what is a jigger bartender?
Well, they do it more like for mixologists. People like to be called mixologists nowadays. Really, you're
Right.
just a bartender. But, the way of using a jigger, those women, they've been bartending for so long, and you're going to tell what, and we were
She
watching.
even said it. She even said it's like, you can't give them tools when they have never used them.
Exactly. And I just didn't feel that bar was a jigger bar. There's bars that should be jigger bars, and there's bars
Why are you
that...
gonna pick on Jennifer Garner?
There you go. I thought she was awesome. I thought she was great. I just disagreed with her on this particular moment.
I can't wait to find her at Soho.
I told Phil we should have her in so then we can go to Soho.
We can go to Soho whenever you want to go to Soho. It's not that
Well,
big
that's
a
true. I
deal.
forgot about You're like, Dorinda.
We'll be fine. We'll go to Soho when you want to go to Soho. Yeah, she was. She was good. I
I
mean,
liked her.
it was. It was
was
interesting.
sweet.
It was quite a difference. I would have loved to have seen Russell with these broads, right?
This would have been a great Russell episode.
Don't you think? Yeah, because some. But
Him or Elaine Duke.
okay, well, you know what though? Were they such bar hags that they were actually veteran bartenders and not lame like some of the other bartenders we knew?
No, I feel.
Do you think they were decent bartenders?
I
That
feel
one
at some
girl
point
was, what was
Decent.
I forgot her name?
because they've been in the business long enough, and
Right.
if you're in the business that long and you don't know what you're doing, shoot yourself.
Roxy.
Shoot yourself.
But you could tell that they've been in the business. They knew what they were doing.
Right.
I mean, here's the interesting. Obviously, the big point was that they didn't have enough cups. And for me, I would have been interested.
So sad when he dropped all the cups.
Poor Art. But I would have been
Glasses.
interested to see, obviously the stress test tests everybody, and he failed
Yeah.
as a manager in that respect. But I would have liked to see what they could have done had they had enough supplies.
True, because the girls were held back by not having what they
They
needed.
had 30 cups.
Well, 60, and then they had 30.
30 after he was done. Yeah, it seems like they could do it. They could do the work.
And and this is just a question, why didn't they get plastic cups? Even though they've had plastic cups on the, well, I'm not, now I'm getting too analytical.
Well, they've had
but-
plastic.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to have
I mean-
plastic cups depending on,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I
the
mean?
I mean, how many
Well-
times would just these people get so burnt out that they lose it? They just, you know.
And he did, unfortunately, and when he talked to John, he said that, you could tell even the way he did things, he was just done.
Yeah.
But he was done with life.
I also, God, I don't know. I always get frustrated with people. I think hobbies are great, but it's just if you're working any job, but let alone a bar or a career, you got to give that stuff up. I remember like 1 year I got a union job, construction, in a college summer, and it was like $20-some an hour, and it was huge. And first week, I ended up breaking my ankle in a basketball league, and my dad was like, "Why? Like, why you know what I mean? Like, you don't play in college. It's you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like that's it. Enough with that now. If you want to make it in life, enough. Make your decision. My grandfather took away my dad's pool stick. He was a really good pool player.
Uh-huh.
First thing, really, you want to marry my daughter? Pool stick on. We got it back when my grandfather died, and I'll never forget. Same thing. And my dad went on to become, pretty successful because of that. It was like he got focused on his work. It's like, but really, you're on a motorcycle 100 miles an hour going around. Like, no. You can be a fan, but you don't get to do that.
Yeah, and your life is your bar.
That's
That's your
it.
business. When you open a business, it's your
That's it.
business. It's not a hobby. Your business is not your hobby, and your hobby is not your first thing.
And your
It's-
hobby can't
yeah.
hurt you. It can't hurt your business. I even think guys who have families, like, listen, if this is what you choose to do, if you have children and whatever, like, I'm sorry, you don't get to be a pirate anymore, or a motorcycle driver, or I just see it all the time. Maria's career, I get vilified a lot because I say, no, you're not going skiing. No, you're not doing that stuff. When I was working with, I always tell these guys a story, Carmen Electra at MTV, and we all went horseback riding for like a company picnic, and she was like, no. She's like, I'm a dancer, and I've had friends thrown from horses who never were able to dance again, and no, and I always took that to heart. But even when I see this guy in his accent, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? It's bad enough to be on a motorcycle anyway. I mean, I have a motorcycle license,
Yeah.
but I will not ride in LA. Vegas is a little better. I still wouldn't be riding around there. I mean, maybe on the outskirts because you do have a lot of street.
Mm-hmm.
But not in Vegas. I wouldn't. And anyway,
it's
yeah, no. And I have a license, and like I said, I love riding, but I won't do it here. Back in Connecticut, absolutely.
yeah, because you can ride.
we have a house there, and yeah, I've got a 4-wheeler, and yeah, that's different. Here, no. You have a business. So
I agree with you on that.
stop playing pirate. But anyway, I felt bad, but that definitely like took the life out of him. And he seemed like a very nice guy.
Yes.
It was successful before his
Mhm.
accident, and they had no problems. He
He
said.
seemed very nice. And Joey, the manager, stupid visor.
I loved that. That was so
See,
funny.
You know what I kept thinking of? Like, what? Who's
Oh,
calling?
yeah.
Dorinda.
I have no
Is
idea.
it Nick?
No,
No,
it's
is it
not
Russell?
Chef Nick?
No, it's not Russell. It's
Alright.
a number I don't even know.
Is it Mia?
Phil, you're not a stupid visor here. No, Phil can fire people. He can do what he wants. I was thinking, I'm like, oh my God, I hope Phil's not a stupid visor.
That was so clever. I
But
loved
you're not.
that.
That's going into the Webster's dictionary.
Well, I'm sure John, it's probably a good segue into John's book. Once again, bestseller list, and still sold out. Still waiting for my copies that I ordered. But that's how successful the book's been. I wonder if the term stupid visor's in there. But, it's funny because John has all these terms and theories and things. So it's not like he just cracked a joke. I'm sure he's come across that many times
Yeah.
in the business. And
We've seen it in Bar Rescue, before. Where
he's
he was
mentioned
just never
stupid
given it.
visor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it though.
But I think, again, hopefully if you guys have businesses and not even just bar businesses, but just businesses in general, pick up John's book. It's going to help you in so many ways. It's helped us here just to watch the show. And then when he has sent me some of his DVDs or that he has for specifically made for businesses, you get the chills. And just even in terms of hiring people, how to hire, and not just how to hire for a bar, just how to hire people in general. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, it's I know it's been 2 or 3 weeks, however many weeks it's been out. Longer, right, Phil?
I thought it was
about 3 weeks.
yeah.
3 weeks, and it's still in the top 10.
Mhm.
So congratulations to John, and you guys can find it on Amazon. I believe I always go to Amazon. I mean, I'm sure you can go Barnes and Noble and places like that.
You can do that, but Amazon's the easiest.
It is easiest, but I shouldn't do. We got to keep bookstores alive.
That's
You know, so go into your Barnes and Noble and buy it.
So you can just go through the pages and smell the pages.
I know, I love it in there.
I know.
Isn't it always like it's sad that they're all
It's
closing, but aren't they
it's
nice?
upsetting.
It's very upsetting.
It's very upsetting.
No, and I order so many books online now, and it's
Because it's easy.
yeah,
Because it's easy.
it is just easy.
Oh, and a real quick, I would like to do a shout out. We haven't talked about her in a long time because she hasn't been on the show in a while. But Nicole Taffer, she's a big fan of ours too.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's always great at doing little things for us. So, hey Nicole, what's up?
Well, they work together very closely.
Yes.
That's why and it's funny because John has talked about that on some of the shows, where it in past relationships it was just hard to pick business over your partner, and then it's really getting a partner who understands.
That's what it's about.
Right.
It's you can have any kind of partner, but you have to have the partner that's right for you, that understands you and what you do, and vice versa.
Right.
It's not
Yes.
and him and Nicole really have that.
Yeah.
They have that whole thing, which is pretty amazing because a lot of people don't choose wisely, but that's a different show.
That is a different show.
That is a different
That is
show.
a
Love on
different show.
top, maybe.
So
Let's talk about Nick then. We talked kind of about the drinks. And
Well, in the stress test, they did say 1/3 of the steaks came back, which was terrible.
Oh, that's a lot.
Isn't that a lot?
and
That
then
is a
and then the
lot.
fact that Joey decided to buy them all, like the steaks. John mentioned no, give them drinks. Don't.
Yeah.
A drink is 80 cents. A steak is $6.
Okay, well, I agree, but this is where I would have a problem if I was a consumer and the steaks got sent back. Did the steaks come back out to them and they ate them?
I think they just gave the money back because they didn't want them.
Oh, they didn't want them. Well, then that's
Yeah.
a different story. If they don't want the product that was given to them
Yeah.
because the product's not good, that's where I have a problem. I do agree with John on certain things, but this is one where I'm kind of iffy on.
If we know that's the case,
If
we
we-
don't. We
yeah.
don't know that for a fact. It could be
Yeah.
that they got the steak and the refund.
Yeah, if they got if that's the case, no, it shouldn't be. And it'd be nice to buy a drink, but if they got the steak back and it was cooked right, you shouldn't comp it because they ate it.
Mm-hmm.
They still put it in their bellies.
funny business practice could be if you take away that steak and then you go around, hey, anybody want to buy a steak?
Well, actually, the server's eating it back.
Should we talk renovations?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I loved the renovations. I mean, the outside was much cleaner, much better. They probably were limited by whatever the owner of the building. I'm starting to learn that trick.
Yeah.
Is a lot of times with signage, you can't really change the structures.
And there's regulation on size.
Right, regulations and such, but very clean, very nice on the outside, and I loved it. I thought the name was great.
I thought the name was great. I thought the hook bar inside, I always love to see the layout of the actual bar before we
Yeah.
even touch it. And it was great. It was huge, long hook bar in there, which was awesome. So they had, a good start too.
Yeah, and I just loved when you walked in the red.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The
I
velvet
love the
chairs.
red. And then the bar, which had the leather, like the spun, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
That reminded me of Daddy's. Remember Daddy's back in the day that closed right was on Vine or iVine.
I don't, but it just
Yeah,
I know
but you know
I've
what-
seen
yeah.
those kind of bars, and
And
it was
those-
sexy. It just
It works. It
again,
just
I wanted to go
works.
in there and once again, I got sucked in. I wanted to go in and drink.
Nick Liberato is calling.
Who's
Pick
calling
up.
you?
No, it's not.
And the mirrors was great to
and
make.
the logos everywhere and the flat panels.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was beautiful, and the name worked for me.
It just coincidentally,
Yes,
it was their birthstone, which is cool.
little kismet, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny. We have in our house was built in the 30s, and there is a bar in the house. And I know we haven't done much. We've been there for, I don't know, 10 years, and the room is whatever. And so when I see this bar, I'm like, I would love to kind of take some of the ideas to, because we were doing our bar. And so, of course, Marie goes, I'm going to contact John Taffer. And so, oh, you are you? She's like, I'm going to contact John Taffer, and you know what? I'm going to ask him how we're going to design our bar at our house. So I was like, all right, very
I want to
nice.
hear that conversation.
I'll probably have you there.
Okay, perfect.
But it was interesting because I don't know, I just seeing that bar the way it was laid out, I was like, that would be nice to have in your house.
Oh yeah,
That
was nice.
yeah, that because you can have like that little small version of that, and the seats were great.
Yeah.
It was very intimate, sexy, just appealing to the eye, and that's why he did it, and it just worked.
And I'm
The
going to say
name.
something else. The uniforms on the guys were the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Those guys, to me, went from zero to hero.
Oh yeah,
In the black shirts, the black ties. I mean, they all look so professional and
Even
so
the-
high end.
even the girls with the black dresses, they
I
were
loved it because
just classy, simple, and that's what they needed. They were wearing like little tiny things and just all over
Well,
the
let's
place.
just. They looked amazing to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah.
So where do you go from amazing? Well, you know.
Yeah, and
No.
because those ladies did have some. They had banging bodies.
Yeah,
They did.
they did.
They did.
They were fine.
What,
but
what,
you're right,
we
but
got to
you know-
show off the assets.
The
One of the
assets,
girls
yeah.
said.
To show off the
But
ass.
I thought that I don't know. I think for interiors of bars, it's hard to say because he crushes it week after week. I'm sorry. Every time he's done, I want to go in and have a drink.
Yeah.
But from where this went to, which was your typical, I don't know if the dive bar is the term, but it just looked like I don't know. This is where,
like a biker bar kind of thing.
yeah.
But not
Where-
even.
Not even, right?
Well,
It
It's
wasn't.
just like when I see the bars where regulars go, and to me regulars are alcoholics.
Yeah.
But a lot of those, again, like that guy, the story about your grandfather, he's in there during the day. I'm sorry, there's a problem, there's an issue, and the people that are around those people, it's just anyway gross.
But I love how they
But
get
it went-
sentimental about that.
Oh, they always do. Forget it. But
Well, my friend's this girl that I know, her grandfather, he like goes to club bars too, and then biker bars, I guess. So I don't know. It's like a whole thing. And
Her
he's older.
grandpa sounds amazing.
He was a pretty cool guy.
yeah, he sounds like a lot of fun. But where this thing went from to where it ended up to, these guys in black shirts and the girls in black dresses and the red velvet
I loved it.
and the polished wood. It was just beautiful.
And their efficiency, the food coming in, faster than the
let's
drink.
talk
Turkey
about the.
meatballs.
Oh,
Those
Yeah.
made me want to eat.
I love turkey meatballs. I love meatballs in general, but those turkey meatballs
looks
look
great,
so
yeah.
good. He did once again. Chef Nick,
Yeah, he's amazing.
he's awesome.
He's good.
Shout out to him too, by the way.
Yeah.
He'll be coming in. He got in touch with me, and he's definitely going to come in.
Ooh.
He couldn't come in tonight because he's actually shooting Bar Rescue as we talk.
Oh my goodness.
So
Let's get
he's-
Jennifer
yeah.
Garner in.
Yeah, let's do
Get
it.
her in because you know what? I want to find out about what she thought of these girls.
I would. Yeah.
It was so night and day. Her to them was,
Oh yeah.
I really would have loved to seen Russell with them.
She was a lady. They were broads.
They were broads.
I
They
love
were such
broads.
bar broads.
Broads are amazing.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you want to hang around with, smoke a cigarette,
yeah.
drink a beer. But
I just would love to have seen Russell with them because I think they would have been hitting on Russell probably, right?
oh, he would have loved them.
And I think he would have had fun with them. And I'm sure he's dealt with that many times.
Oh, I'm sure.
And
He's
not
been
in his
around.
clubs. I don't think his clubs have that.
But he is from Texas, and I think he started bartending in Texas.
So he's probably seen it.
He's probably seen it.
But it depends what kind of bar. If a young person's bar, they wouldn't fit Dorinda.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
This is a cougar bar.
But
Oh,
Okay,
well,
Puma or cougar?
Okay, here's the deal. 30s is not cougar.
That's
It's not-
what I said.
Yes,
I
Pumas,
had to explain it to Phil.
because Pumas, okay, they still have viable eggs. That's.
I agree.
There is the difference. I got Marissa.
All right, but Marissa explains it so well. Okay, Marissa, there's the 3 levels. Go.
All right, Pumas are the 30s, Cougars are the 40s, Panthers are the 50s.
Panthers. I want to be a panther.
Boom.
You got a while before
I
you're
got
a panther.
I got a way while to be a panther, but think about it. You're in your 50s, you're a panther, you're hot. That's awesome.
I guess
Well,
I'm a cub.
I mean, I have to say, you're a cub.
You're a cub.
But you know what's nice about women today? I mean, women can be beautiful into their 60s.
Oh, I
It's
am
such a different world. It's so great. You know, I love it.
living where we live and just watching, certain women just today in general, they're just so amazingly beautiful that you don't know how old people are anymore.
You know what helps?
My mama.
Lots of drinking.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Hard liquor.
Well,
The
but-
harder you go,
Well, even it's fun. My mom's
Oh, I'm Irish though.
my mom's almost 70, and she still has her hair at her shoulders, and the hairdressers always try to like cut her hair really short. And I'm like, Mom, no, don't buy into that. Oh, I'm a certain age, so now I have to have the boys' regular haircut. Like, no, you look really cute with your hair longer. And anyway, it's is this really Bar Rescue? but I mean, but it's I don't know. It's nice that it's great for the here why it is Bar Rescue, because it's great for the bar business that people that women of 30, 40, 50 can still go out and have fun and not feel like it's a game for the 20-year-olds.
Because it's not anymore. Because we're all living to be older, number one, and women do have their own money now,
Right.
and they want to go out and spend it. They want to go have fun. They want to go. I wouldn't say go dance on a bar.
ladies' night every night.
Ladies' night.
I've seen your Instagram photos, you and Kat.
Oh my god.
Kat Bayless.
Hey, Bayless.
Oh my god. We have
Shout out
her
to-
and I have so much fun.
Kat Bayless, for those of you who don't
have
know, is on
fun.
VH1's Hit the Floor.
Yes.
Personal
One of
friend
my-
here at
yes.
AfterBuzz TV.
One of my very best friends.
An AfterBuzz host. I knew Kat before I knew you, Dorinda.
Yes, that is true. That's true. I met Kat when she was 19.
All right, and I feel it's
But
time
anyway,
to wrap
yeah,
it
but
up.
anyway.
And she was a cub.
She was a cub.
Well, the drinks Mia made looked amazing to me.
They
The bubbly
did.
black rose.
That looked amazing. And even the dessert did look great. I just didn't feel it should have been in that particular bar.
True, but the graham cracker rim just sold it for me.
Oh, yeah.
That looked great.
Yeah. I love that it had whipped cream. I love whipped cream.
Marshmallows. It was so cute.
So do I.
Yeah,
You know what?
I wonder if it was the alcohol whipped cream. There's whipped cream with alcohol in
I
it.
didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I'll bring some in. I was at a party like 2 weeks ago.
Dorinda, you probably make a hell of a mudslide.
Oh yeah. When I first started, I worked at Fridays. So remember Fridays had the mudslide cake? They actually used to make it with the mudslide cake.
Ah.
So because it was an ice cream cake. It was like ice cream. It was like an ice cream thing. But the reason they stopped doing it is because they would burn out the blenders all the time because of the nuts.
Oh.
So that's why they stopped doing it. But yeah, I used to do that all the time. All those little frozen drinks and everything.
And I'll leave fans on this final note before we start wrapping out. What I love about this season, yes, it's all kind of for the most part, taking place in Vegas, but it just gives us a nice pub crawl when we go.
Oh, yes. And then we'll have to Instagram a lot of pictures so everyone can see what and this will not be what stays in Vegas. Certain things will stay in
Wait, we're going to do a
Vegas.
pub crawl?
In
When we go to
Vegas,
Vegas.
a bar rescue
We're
pub
gonna
crawl.
do a bar rescue pub crawl.
Yeah, because there have been enough bars there for us to do
Oh, yeah, they have the Atomic Bar.
it. Right. We can't see Blandon's place because they're going to close.
Yeah, I don't even know if they'd let us in there, though.
Well, it's closed, but we'd go by. We'll go by and
we
pay
can
our
go by,
respect.
do one for our homies.
But we could do an LA one. We have enough bars in LA. I mean,
Yeah, there's the OP,
wait,
and
right.
then-
By the way, we're right down the street from Weber's.
Weber's,
Live
and then
or whatever.
Champs,
and then
Champs is close.
Dimples.
Weber's is really close though. It's like a few blocks away.
No way. I didn't know
Yeah.
Weber's was that close.
Very close. Very close.
All right, we're gonna plan out our bar
Rescue
crawl
pub
after.
crawl.
There you go.
Behind the
LA.
scenes, we'll tweet you guys about it. Where can people find out this pub crawl, Mackenzie?
You
They can follow you at.
follow me on Twitter at McKenzie Fayne.
Oh, and then you can follow me at Lila Cherry Films at Twitter and on Instagram at Dorinda B1.
I'm hearing a lot of good things about this Instagram.
I'm
hearing it's more popular now than Twitter,
It is.
It
It's
is.
been.
right?
Yeah. It's,
because then people don't have to read.
So
Better
much
scam.
better.
you
I
just
might-
scroll double tap.
Maybe I'll get
scroll, double
involved.
tap.
Until then, at Undergaro.
And of course, we're on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at AfterBuzz TV.
Yes.
And we'll see you here next week for the latest episode of Bar Rescue.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
What I beat.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.